Say, as much as I would say protocol observed. Zimbabwe integrating platforms, its joint stakeholders, partners in the context of Africa Month in South Africa. Colleagues, part of the calendar reaffirm the principle of promoting equality that is enshrined in relevant declarations, which underline the commitment of the country to ensure rights and welfare of the people are implemented. I would give a phrase in terms of a proverb from Kenya. They say, if you walk alone, you walk very fast, but if you walk with others, you go very far. I think you're tolerant to this country, South Africa, in terms of migrants. You really appreciate it. It's not easy because the country is also going through multifaceted challenges. I want today we declare diplomatic action against the Zimbabwe politicians who are implicated in both smuggling and money laundering, involving individuals, local financial institutions, promoting lawlessness in South Africa, noting failure by South African police to comply with 30 October 2014 High Court ruling on human rights abuse in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe Integrated Platform, together with Disabled Migrant Rights Networking Organization, with Africa Integrated Platform, Voice of Justice, Zimbabwe Human Rights Organization, Zimbabwe Economic Movement, Zimbabwe Youth Alliance, and stakeholders, partners, mostly South Africans, who we decided to hold their names and the security reasons, are bringing to your attention seeking enforcement and implementing 2014 High Court's ruling into an act of law. We prevail with the possibility to curb an influx of migrants fleeing violence, intimidation, and harassment into South Africa. We understand that this exposed gold corruption and money laundering by Al Jazeera involving politicians, individuals, and local financial institutions should be investigated and perpetrators charged accordingly. It is also noted that human rights abuses are being enacted due to dividends and from laundering and also smuggling syndicates. On 30 October 2014, the Constitutional Court of South Africa handed down its judgment in a landmark case for implementing international uh, criminal justice. Our litigation, which was brought by SALC, which is South African Litigation Center, and their partners, with case studies from torture survivors, with medical reports from credible institutions. The appeal related to the responsibility of South African Police Service and under the domestic and international law to investigate acts of torture as a crime against humanity that were illegal committed in Zimbabwe. As much as I've indicated that these are some of the push and pull factors causing influx in South Africa, but also we being facing disinformation to an extent, a narrative that we've created that every Zimbabwean in South Africa is under exemption permit. And it has really created threats and also violence from the communities because people are waiting for every African man to leave by the 31st of June. The decision by South African highest court reaffirms the obligation set out in the South African implementation of the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court Act of 27 of 2002 regarding investigation and the prosecution of international crimes. The case, which is the first to be brought in terms of South Africa ICC Act, provides substantive and practical content to South African Rome Statute obligations. The Constitutional Court found that South Africa's prosecuting and investigation authorities ignored South Africa's international and domestic obligations in their initial refusal to investigate, which is contrary to progressive measures taken by the country in regards to adoption of African Charter, National Action Plan to combat racism, racial discrimination, related intolerances. Furthermore, the court held that while the principle of non-intervention in another state's territory must be observed, this would not be violated by an investigation conducted exclusively within South Africa. Given the urgency of this matter, the court did not remit to the High Court, but rather issued an order requiring the South African Police Service to investigate the above complaint. The case sets an important precedent. It states that South African law provides for a form of universal jurisdiction in respect of international crimes.
Further, it underscores the responsibilities of the police and the prosecution where such matters are brought to them. Importantly, it reaffirms South Africa's commitment to ensuring international criminal justice and will serve as a guide for South African authorities regarding in future international criminal justice investigation, so that we could serve a precedent reflected in the rule of law, a significant of inclusive economy. The decision offers prospects of justice for those who allegedly suffered torture in Zimbabwe. It also sends out a clear message that South Africa must be guided in its foreign relations by its domestic and international uh, commitments, which I've mentioned earlier. We bring this to the notice of your Department of International Relations and Cooperation in order that proper steps be taken for the perpetrators of gross human rights abuses visiting South Africa to be apprehended and charged. Some of the murderers and criminals with sense of entitlement, practicing sophistry politics, which is contrary to what they term to Pan-Africanism. People who own properties in South Africa, businesses, and who frequently coming to dine and buy expensive whiskey using looted money. However, it is essential that persons are prohibited by law from making threats, stalking, or communicating to others their desires to physically harm the litigants, human rights activists, and their families and workplace. In recent case, Ms. Nicole is presiding the police, and the rest of them were under threat from tweets, and of which up to very day, I think most of our organizations were submitting petitions and stuff, but we still to hear more from the government intervention. We also request that DICO must publicly state its intervention in this matter and make clear that those defending human rights and vulnerable people in the Republic shall not be intimidated, threatened, or harmed by any member of the public or any party, whether private, state, or the invisible hands using lawlessness militants towards refugees. These are seeking asylum, broken people, and vulnerable at the same time. Lastly, I would say the South Africa Police Services and DIRCO must inform the public about their position and progressive made in this matter. And I would like to take it in a very honest manner in appreciation for the effort done by the President Ramaphosa in terms of setting the financial task force. But our anxiety, we did not mention the criteria which was used to select and also the need to bring credible judges who are currently sitting in courts and those who have retired, including credible religious leaders. Lastly, Zimbabwe Integrated Platform is a non-profit organization founded in 2020, established to create and sustain economic ideas, programs, and projects in underprivileged and disadvantaged communities, working with people in Soweto, Diepsloot, and other related areas on issues of capacity building, skills and social development, which has to do with the alternative approach in response to climate change, and fosters social cohesion among the youth, women, disabled, migrants, and vulnerable groups, so that communities where we live in the townships, they understand why we are here, what happened to us, what we can do together, of which we have many case studies of success stories, of which at the right time we'll come back to you. Zimbabwe ndero, Zimbabwe ndero, parama, Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe ndero, Zimbabwe ndero, parama, Zimbabwe, Nkosi sikelele Afrika, ngaisimudziwe zvitarayo, inzai miteu yedu, atina eusapo lwayo ichekomborerai Afrika, ngaisimudziwe zita rayo, inzwai miteu yedu, ishe komborerai you very much, sir. My colleague is Ishmael Kauzali, is a torture survivor and who seems to be charged as much as innocent on the insurgents of 2019, currently denied access to documentation. And Lenmo Makorimbo, also a youth, who is currently also facing the same issue of insurgents. So as much as they were looking for public advising, but it was not supporting the university to an extent they've been pushed slightly and it's such a sad story. But I think we're going to build a good relationship, working relationship with you, and we're looking forward to hear from you, maybe within the next 21 days, to be more professional with respect, and also pass our warm regards to the DG, Mr. Decker, and also we appreciate our solidarity partners because as organization, we are very much inclusive. That's why the Citizens Coalition for Change joined us and also to express their sentiments and opinions because we are in a country where rule of law, freedom of expression, and freedom of assembly is restricted. Platform as well as climate torture survivor here on Asylum Seeking. So yeah, I'm not going to take much of your time. I'm here today to hand over the petition to the Zimbabwe platform and all our stakeholders. Thank you very much for availing yourself. We are much appreciated for whatever you have done.
As Zach indicated, by the time the notification for this gathering was received by the department, the Director General was already, planned to be someone else to do. As a result, all members of the management are out of the country. I just received a message this morning that I must come and receive the petition. We thank you for the petition. We thank you for the courage to come forward and present your grievances, your suggestions, and how you feel. I can assure you that the Director General will pay attention to this document and at the appropriate time he will revert back to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and then the other projects
Very good. Went back to the this is just the beginning of the long journey to freedom of Zimbabwe.
Come, I want to take a picture and we'll share it.
Zimbabwe, this is beginning, according to
yeah, for now we can. Yeah. No, we're not matching. It's a picketing. No, they don't escort with, yeah, similar items. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, viewers and listeners, for joining us. We were submitting a petition to the government of South Africa concerning the gold mafia. So the citizens of Zimbabwe are petitioning the government of South Africa to take action diplomatic action against the government of South Africa. I mean, to force the South African government to take action against the gold mafia. So this is where we are. Thank you.